This is a video with no theme, no storyline. It's pretty much a follow-up to a video I made about a month ago called Taking Back to Foundry, when I was a little overwhelmed at all the unfinished projects I had that had been laying around forever. So this video is just odds and ends and finishing some things and improving some things, and hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed catching up and finishing some things and cleaning up the Foundry. So thanks to Arrow Industries, I got the caps to my cylinders rebuilt. To put one on each one of these tall cylinders and torque it down to about 36-inch wrench with a 3-foot cheater pipe and a good grunt or two. And I've got the front end of the lift picked up. And does the word guillotine mean anything to you? This kind of creeps me out. It's like a 2,000-pound guillotine. So I got it hung with the chain fall, and I also have it blocked up with wood and a jack. So I have some redundancy there, but I still don't like it. I still don't like, because I got to get my hands all up in the bottom of that to hook the hydraulic hoses back up. Hopefully we'll go do this without issue. Alright, it's been a long time, but the forklift is completely repaired and back in its house. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about working on a forklift. They are a pain in the rear. I haven't put the color on these step plates, but they are finished and the holes are drilled and chamfered and they're ready. So we've done 4 of these little Magi boxes, or the 3 King boxes. It's a little jewelry box which I made, and the 3 King sculpture is attached to the top. We'll see if they sell. It was nice because I was able to use all my fancy little scraps that I hoard of wood, and I also got to buy a drum sander, which is nice. I did in fact buy a new chuck for my drill press, and this thing is an engineering marvel. You can up to a 1/2 inch high-speed bit. You just twist it by hand and it locks and it doesn't slip. And I don't get how the engineering works on this thing, but it works. I made this a while back. This was my first wax working table, and boy was I naive. So this is my wax working table stripped bare, and it looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? This is without the roll around table that goes right there. And there was the old original wax table which went underneath. But I would like for the table to come all the way out to the sander. So I like the table height that I've had. I think I'm just going to extend it over and leave room for my sander and put better storage underneath. Love a project where I don't have to go buy anything. Changed my plans. I'm putting the cooktop in the middle, or not all the way to the right side anyway. Purchased a used cooktop. It was a great buy. Alright, check this out. New work surface for melting wax. It is Formica covered plywood. I even put an aluminum toe plate on the back, keep stuff from falling off. I think that's the last of my aluminum. It has the electric lighter, so I don't have to deal with this purple thing anymore. And it's much bigger, and everything is lovely. Simple things like this plywood panel lets me hang up all the pots I'll probably never use and store the pots up top that I do use. I've had this little crock pot for a long time, and I never used it because it takes forever to melt the wax. But I found that if I'm multitasking, it works good because I don't have to worry about the wax burning or running out of water or whatever. So yesterday I started cleaning up all my recycled wax, which looks like this and this, melting it,
pouring it through this fine mesh strainer, which is now stuck to the table, and into these neat little Teflon bread molds. I was turned on to these from Jason of World Traveler website. And I'm making these nice little neat blocks of wax that I can use as needed.
So in the former video, these two waxes were poured, and in the meantime I treated them up and dipped them and poured them in aluminum, because all the trim on the houseboat is aluminum. Cleaned them up, put some blue on the background, and they look pretty good, ready to put them on the boat. Again, in the first video, I referred to this as a little angel, and I have been told she is a fairy, and she's finished and patinaed and mounted on a really pretty piece of cypress. Another project that I've completed is the little Christ Victorious. This is a maquette for a larger piece that is in a church in Georgia. But we got it cleaned up, patinaed, and got it mounted, and I like these little things. One of my favorite pieces, my wife does.
In my continuing Take Back the Foundry effort, I've melted another batch of scrap aluminum, and this is 100% extruded metal. So I'm going to mark this with a different color spray paint just so I'll know. And then again, I don't know if it makes any difference, but I'm going to mark it separate. Extruded aluminum is now purple. So I went through the pile, and anything that was big I cut in half with the portaband. All the valves I opened up, make sure there wasn't any metal in them. Try to get as much plastic out as I can, try not to make too much stinky smoke. Saved a few little treasures. I mean, how do you melt that? That thing's beautiful. Saved some treasures, and the rest is ready to go in the furnace. I got as much stuff stacked on top as I can, because that's like free preheat, and it should be going down soon. I'll be able to start stuffing stuff in the pot. So it's melting down nicely, and I'm going to fill it really, really full, because I know there's going to be a ton of slag come off the top before I can actually pour it. So I don't mind if it's filled up to the brim. Had to get some big boy gloves. My hands are burning up.
Looking back on this rescue bronze stuff, it's probably not worth it. You figure the time, the gas, the wear and tear on the furnace, the exposure, you know, there's always a risk when you're melting bronze, something bad could happen. And the end product is marginal. Few ingots of bronze, of unknown mixture, you don't know what's in it, and the good stuff is only like $4 or $5 a pound, so This may be my last rescue bronze pour. Of course, we'll see. And a couple of sad pictures of the Holy Family, which we finished up and mounted. And this is a maquette for a life-size piece she did in a chapel in New Orleans.
I always kind of like this little roll-around table. I use it every now and then, but it wouldn't fit under my new table. So I just chop the legs off and let them overlap 1.5 inches. And now I can store it. Voila!